Hey everyone, welcome back to the HourTime Podcast, the podcast for Watch Geeks by Watch Geeks. I'm John Biggs.
And I'm Ariel Adams.
And today on the show we are talking Seiko, Devon, Star Wars, and Kickstarter. This is the HourTime Podcast.
It's good to be back, John. I missed you.
Missed you too, bruh.
Did you know that there's a little-known watch website called Wristwatch Review owned by John Biggs?
I've heard of this.
I think a lot of people do not know this fact.
They don't know this? Look at this. Look at this beautiful site.
I think your face needs to be a little bit more prominent on the website itself.
Scroll down a little bit. Scroll down. I see
the Van Doren ad face. Is that you?
No, that's not me.
Viking facial hair?
That's a Viking. So Wristwatch Review is the site that I've had for longer than you've
longer than aBlogtoWatch has existed. There you are. Halfway down the page.
This has been around since 2004, and I don't think anybody understands that this is a labor of love. I wasn't making money on this thing until literally this year.
Wow. That's definitely slower than us.
Yeah. No, you basically gave up your life to make a website. I basically just made a website.
You did, but you see, here's the thing. You made a lot of websites, and you were doing a lot of things, and I just stuck to mainly this one thing. And it was just, someone interviewed me recently about entrepreneurialism, and they kept using this term grit. You just have to have a lot of grit. And I was like, yeah, I guess I had a lot of grit.
You didn't have any grit.
I had grit? Well, okay, you know what? I'm not a good judge of whether or not I had grit. According to this individual, I demonstrated some true grit. So all I'm saying is that there was, an opportunity there to think about the fact that there was persistence and I had to keep trying. And a lot of people said no to me. And I was like, screw you. I'm not going to take the word no and I'm going to fight. And you would tell me I'm sick of hearing no. I don't want to fight with these bastards.
The trick that what I tell you is you basically say you don't let anybody else control the conversation. If the Melbourne Watch Company needs me to write something special about them, I say, no, I don't even want to write about you. I will literally delete the post rather than deal with somebody's deal with somebody's BS. I will. And that's the way you have to be with these guys. Because
what are you saying that I did different?
I'm just saying that you're in a situation where you, for a long time, and I think it's changing a lot, for a long time, you had to kowtow to a lot of brands. Would you disagree?
I had to play politics a lot.
You had to play politics a lot. I don't play politics. Why do we have to play politics when we're the fourth estate? The third estate is politicians. The fourth estate is journalism. So we don't have to.
Here's the thing, and listen, it's a good point. Politics is unavoidable. Lots of people are like, oh, I don't want to deal with politics. Anytime you have something that involves discretion, politics is involved, because when it comes to discretion, people can use their feelings to make a decision one way or another. So because our livelihood depends on a lot of people's discretion, not just our livelihood, our access, things like that, we have to form relationships and we have to foster those relationships. And to me, that's politics.
You're under the impression that you have to form relationships with these people. These people will need to form relationships with you. That's the trick.
I don't disagree with you, but a relationship needs to be formed one way or the other. So whether or not the politics are facilitated by moi or the politics are facilitated by someone else, there's still politics, because it's either my challenge and I have to make sure that so-and-so loves me, or it's their challenge and they need to make sure that they have good rapport with me. But you agree that either way, there's still politics involved.
To a degree, fine. Yes, I'll give you that. But I think the way that you have to play politics is far different than the way that I allow people to play politics with me. I refuse to this. This is a crazy. If you're looking at this thing right now.
By the way, I'm laughing at this shit.
Yeah, it's OVD. I liked it because it kind of looks like a resonance. It's got a mystery dial with two discs with little niblets on it, and it's a quartz watch. And you press a button on the back that fast forwards the hands.
I remember this thing. Yeah, this is like the oldest quartz technology ever. You can't actually control the time; it just goes in one direction.
Yeah, you just
advances. So low tech. Okay, here's something I want to bring up, because we're talking about Kickstarter, and I'll just start on this topic. Aren't there a lot of crappy watches that are not nearly as cool as a smartwatch, right? Because a lot of the luxury watches we like are cooler than smartwatches. So we're like, great. But a lot of this stuff, it's it's almost an exercise in futility. It's like, wow, that's cute, but like literally, what is the point?
Okay, so let's unpack your questions.
Yes.
So the assumption is that the smartwatch is beating the regular watch, right?
No, the assumption is that the smartwatch is beating watches that are at its same price level.
Okay, that's fine. So for a $300 Apple Watch versus a $300 Quartz watch, you're always going to go Apple Watch.
Maybe that's something I'm saying. If you're mainstream, there's a good chance of it.
Basically, so guys like Fossil, guys like these, the OVD guys, the Time Traveler, they're in trouble.
Yes.
So, but then why are there so many Kickstarter watches? So what I think is happening, I think there's a halo effect of, in the same way that people who like watches, like lots of watches, people who start buying a smartwatch start being more interested in other watches. So I think there's going to be a renaissance, an uptick in watch liking, watch enjoyment. But I could also be completely wrong, 100% wrong, and watch the entire thing like explode into an absolute toilet explosion, because I also think that watches could basically die in the next 10 years.
I love how you have like two extremes of optimism and pessimism.
Absolutely. I'm arguing this is it's an 70% chance that everything's going to be okay. 30% chance that you won't see a mechanical watch anymore, except in
I want to go to Kickstarter
situation.
for a second here, and just I want to see the amount of like watch. Do I just type in watch? Like, how would this be here? I don't even.
Wrist watch.
I love how I'm typing and like nothing is happening. Oh wow, Kickstarter live. Screw that. By the way, anyone that does anything live on Facebook or anything like that, if you're not a business and have a legitimate practice, you probably look lame to people. Just saying.
Yeah.
So I typed in. I love how I typed in watch here, and I guess this is the results. You know what? I'm going to say it. A lot of people may disagree with me. I find Kickstarter has the most revolting UI of a lot of sites.
They actually just open source their UI because more people want to. So look at this Prometeo.
So what is it? So 2,633 watch projects. Now this isn't all wristwatches, but this is, as we're scrolling here, like we're just seeing wristwatches, right?
Oh, look at that one.
What the Edge. So this is almost like a compendium of like everything from some great ideas.
Look at the Breguet up there. Look at that. That looks like a
Type 22 or Type 21. Oh God! From afar maybe, but wow. So look at this thing. So you go to Kickstarter
for $99.
Redefining luxury mechanical watches, Collamer and Sons. I mean, that whole statement just has so much wrong with it.
Okay. Well, hold on a second.
They've made more than their goal with only. I have no idea how or why. And then you go here and you scroll down, and there's just like an ocean of just crap to look at. Look at this. Look at this. Who is looking at this? Who is reading out some of these? Look at these tech specs. That's not even text. That's just a picture. Okay.
Okay. Well, hold on a second. Let's look at this Collamer and Sons. What is this? What is this?
Collamer. This is basically we like mid 20th century pilot watches. Via like Breguet, Dodane, whoever. And we're going to make apparently an enormous amount of watches.
Okay,
random videos.
But where are they getting these watches? Where are these watches being stored?
Okay, that's a good question.
Who's manufacturing these watches?
That's what I wanted to bring up. You said that there's this renaissance. There's Chinese suppliers out there that all they do all day long is OEM. And they used to OEM for big brands that wanted to sell these huge volumes of fashion watches, and all that business, not all of it, a lot of it dried up because everyone realized, oh, wait a minute, why am I putting my effort into selling, $200 fashion watches when very soon people are going to stop buying them in favor of smartwatches? So all those factories in China, my guess, said, you know what, let's just let's just focus on doing these Kickstarter campaigns. I don't think it's the exact same thing.
I like that Rolex Explorer right there.
Oh, with a kind of Milgauss looking thing here. Wow, this is just. I mean, so this is the colostomy bag at Suds here.
Okay.
Look at this. This is
Hold on a
just
second.
Garbage.
Okay. Well,
but this is somehow making money.
You know what? I've been watching these more than you have. So okay.
Yes,
so what is this movement with the day date? How do you control the day date?
This.
Do you have to
with the crown or maybe some pusher somewhere? That's your out of all of this. That's your question. How do you control the day date on this movement?
I'm wondering what kind of module they're using.
I want to know what video this is here. In honor of our mother.
That's not it. You were the most wonderful mother.
I want to see if this has anything to do with watches.
Where did she go? Did she die? It's a video of a baby, of a mother like playing with her baby. We love you unconditionally.
Yeah. Introducing Clotilde. What the Clotilda?
Wars movement. 10 years warranty.
10 years, huh? Passion for watchmaking. What is that logo?
I just hope it doesn't last 10 years. Oh, here's we're beautiful. Okay. Hold on.
Okay,
hold on.
I'm listening.
Okay, how do you like this? How do you like this IWC? Okay, so this is a particularly bad example of the magic of Kickstarter.
This is a fantastic example because so much effort was put into this. So look at how long this page is. This is a mile long.
It keeps going.
Okay, who's gonna read this?
It goes all the way to the.
What
parts of the watch are actually luminescent? The indexes and hour and minute hands of some of the models.
Okay, again, this is one of over 2,600 posts on Kickstarter for crowdfunded ones. This one has 8 days to go, 131 backers, and they somehow got 39,000. Like, how much are they asking of each person?
How many have they sold? How can you sell?
Pledged 3,500 euros or more.
One backer played 3,500 euros.
Seriously?
You'll choose 11 of the male watches, including the chrono models, and 2 female, either with silver or rose gold case. It's 11 feet watches.
And the retail price is 5,175 euros.
Wait, no.
Look at this. I love this. I love this UI. If I hover my mouse over this,
you can't read it.
You can't even read it. Honestly, screw you, Kickstarter. Screw you.
Okay, so hold on a second. Okay, I need.
There we go.
but you also get a trip for Spain if you get $4,500. If you pay $4,500,
but you have to hang out with the people that made this post. Okay.
Okay, well, so I've been following the Kickstarters, and as someone who is living and dying by Kickstarters, I'm not going to outright say that all these are awful.
No, just most of them.
Just a great number of them. Now, so you're basically saying, oh, look at that, the soft cube, beautiful.
Okay, so this looks interesting. A new way to see watchfinders. I don't even know what the hell that means. It looks like a Lego-inspired watchfinder.
It looks like you can close it up and you can hide the watch inside the watch.
And you can't do without this device. In fact, if you try to go anywhere without this, you're gonna die. Just look, isn't it beautiful? Really? Wow. Our Shake time machine,
as we like to call it, can't compare to any object you may have seen so far. My name is Luca.
Hey.
I live on the second floor, and I'm the founder of STEM. I have long experience in managing businesses.
If
a great passion for automatic.
It regularly, its mechanism may jam slowly.
Okay. So that's the biggest problem with these things. So the people who are making these amazing watch solutions don't A, speak English, and B, don't quite understand how to market this stuff.
So this is just all kinds of bad, okay? Like, this is unprofessional. Like, how is it that we allowed this much e-commerce democracy? Is this good for our civilization is what I want to know. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that the internet has lowered the barrier to pretty much everything you can think of, okay? But, like, is the barrier to entry in front of consumers' eyes too low? Is it just too low? Is it too easy to contact
Ariel,
some
you run
random
a
supplier?
You run a site in which an amateur who used to be a lawyer became the de facto king of all watches, and where some dude from Colombia is now like the Rolex produces the monthly Rolex masturbatory guide for the for the lonely man. You guys pulled this out of whole cloth. So for you to say that is kind of an insult to the vision of
I
what
don't
blogging
think it is. I don't think it is. No, because I put in 10 years.
This is the blogging of the material world. This is the blogging of the material world. Take it that way. The cool box. This is blogging. This is blogging. This is self-defined commerce. Some dude is gonna render a really fancy super Luminova automatic. He's gonna go down to China. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it manufactured. He's excited about it. He's really excited about it. He's asking for $25,000 for this.
Let's start from the zero.
Okay,
the
fine.
Zero.
In the exact same way that you sat down in front of your computer one day. You sat down in front of your computer one day and you said to yourself, I'm going to make a watch blog called A Blog to Read, because people like to read stuff. And I'm like, dude,
totally disagree with the analogy you're
making.
Dumb
name. Let me finish the analogy.
Okay, go on.
Then you got better and you got better and you got better and you got better. This is the first inkling of the blog of physical objects. This is literally blogging, what you're watching right now.
Okay. I listen, I think there's a lot of good parallels to that analogy. I don't think it's the same, because I never went to someone and said, I have a product which I'd like to make, give me money for it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I produced information online that was free to consume and free to evaluate with comments. I can't go here and just comment and be like, this sucks garbage. I can ignore it summarily, but my concern...
No, because the comment is literally in your dollar. If you put $1 into this idea, then you comment that you like it. If you don't put $1, then it fails and it sinks. Look, this guy is most probably going to sink. He's got 24 days. He wants $25,000. It's not going to work.
Listen,
but God bless him for trying.
I'm saying is that
in these Carmel and Sons or whatever, and they're the Breguet knockoffs, they've already hit their goal. You know why they hit their goal? Because they have so many crazy watches there that they're going to hit once at the very least.
Look, I think that I'm taking an extreme position on this. I agree. Look, a lot of these brands advertise with us. We have a policy where we say, if your product is on Kickstarter and we've never seen it, and pretty much no one else has, if you want to get in front of our audience, you need to spend a little bit of money and write a post to our audience on why you think they should pay attention to your project. So this is one of them that have Code 41. Yeah. This is more interesting. This is pretty well over budget. I'm really happy that this was successful for them. 38 hours to go, so they're really almost done here. And this is obviously one of the better ones. And if I saw this, I would look here and say, okay, at least there's some design going on here. But this is still an entire ocean of information, like an ocean. So I guess going back to it, my initial kind of anger was, look how long this is. Look how much there is to read. No one on Kickstarter is reading this, making sure it's all coherent and makes sense. There's no authority there's no systems of checks and balances. This is 100% caveat emptor. And unfortunately, Kickstarter does not make that claim clear enough. So I think a lot of people are getting burned.
Look at there are three Kickstarter tabs open on your screen right now, and there are two blog things. If you went to my site and you had no idea who the hell I was, either you vote with your clicking finger or you don't. This is exactly the same situation. Yeah, maybe Van Doren is going to run away with your money, but the vast majority of the time they're not going to run away with your money. You're just going to get a Chizo watch.
Whippo magazine, Wipo.
Wipo magazine is one of the best.
Wipo.
Wipo magazine is one of the best magazines for wiping.
For wiping. I'm a real wiping enthusiast.
I mean,
wiping's a lost art. With all those fancy Japanese toilets, I think we're going to see a real renaissance of wiping.
Okay, so the question, going back to the main question, and we have to go to some other topics too, because this is a deep conversation. Going back to your main question, why do these things exist? I think these exist because this watch right here, for example, probably costs what, $10 to make,
if that.
$10 if that. The band is
No, the
okay.
entire watch together is $10.
Entire watch together. And how much are they selling it for?
I'm guessing
Go up. You can see.
$100 to $200. $100 to $200.
Let's see. I'm going to say 80. Oh, 248. Okay, 248. Yeah, there you go. So they're selling it with the wooden box. They put a wooden box in there.
Ooh.
So, well, that's fine. Well, let's give them.
Let's see if there's a picture of said box. No, but we have this thing.
You will soon be the owner.
Ooh, look at that clip art. I like how the arrow is bigger than the airplane here, which is way too big for the Earth. All these scales are off.
The one thing that drives me nuts is there's the box.
There it is.
Look at that beautiful
there it
box.
is. I've seen that fake wood many, many times.
The thing that drives me nuts about these guys, they're always like, we go straight to you. We don't go through the distributor.
Screw luxury.
Screw luxury.
Luxury's been raping you for 10 years and you haven't even known it.
You didn't even know what was going on.
We discovered luxury in a box somewhere. We found it. We're bringing it back to you direct.
Okay, so
Back us now.
So regardless, look at these handsome men dressed up. This guy was with his beard. He's digging in his beard. Can you imagine
better not get your beard oil
like?
all over your watch crystal there.
Can you imagine what that beard smells like? Regardless.
I love how we could literally spend an entire day going over maybe 1% of these watch auctions to make fun of them.
But it's not fair because it would be the equivalent of us going over to Hodinkee and saying, "Hey, Hodinkie's a bunch of douches," and disregarding.
I don't think it's the same thing, man. I think
it's
that you're
exactly the same thing.
So you're basically saying editorial content online, which doesn't cost people anything to look at, is the exact same thing as going on Kickstarter and putting a watch project?
Yes.
You're saying that's an exact analog.
I'm saying that the possibility for reward are exactly the same. Is me as Ritz Rush Review or you as aBlogtoWatch.
There are not 2,600 watch blogs online right now. There isn't.
That doesn't matter consider these as posts, let's say. Very detailed posts. And Kickstarter is the blog, if you want to talk about it that way. This is like a Forbes contributors. This is like a Forbes contributors list.
Oh, so this campaign ended already. I get it here.
Okay. So bear with me because you're not understanding what's happened. 10 years ago, there would have been none of these watches. These watches wouldn't exist. Because
the suppliers in China were busy doing other stuff.
Because the suppliers in China were busy doing other stuff. So it's a perfect storm right now for some small dude, some guy out there, some guy in Ohio who says to himself, "Hey, I'll make a watch." And he can do it. If we want to make Cholex, we can make Cholex in a heartbeat.
That's not at all creepy.
That's kind of gross. That's really gross. The
direct-to-consumer approach, unmatched affordability, Swiss designed and hand assembled.
Strange blood that comes out of your watch.
Nonsense garbage.
The Transylvania, they call that. Okay, so
what is all this? What is this?
Look at all those watches. Look at all those watches.
It's just like a group of names.
Those are all the watches that are so excited about the watches.
No, there's no promise of that. Again, there's no checks or balances here. If you're a consumer online and you're not extremely careful in what you consume, you're reading garbage lies every single day of the year on the internet.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I mean, listen, the whole election, I think there was a lot of controversy about that. I don't know enough details about it, but that's what when they say fake news, what that essentially says is false, misleading information online that no one is checking in any way.
Okay, so the equivalent of fake news in this world, very specifically, would be a fake Rolex. Would you agree?
No, I think it's just lies. It's just somebody saying that this watch is something it's not.
Well, I don't think anybody's saying this particular watch is something it's not. The bloody one.
The bloody one? Look, you're right. Probably, technically speaking, very few of these campaigns are just outright lying. But they are attempting to be misleading because what they're attempting to do is say, we can offer you the same as this other thing for much less. Now, in some instances, they can offer very similar for much less. But a Rolex watch, I've never seen anything else in the world come even close to a Rolex. And that also includes all the brands that are very well funded for the major groups. Okay, so to say that this is identical to a Rolex is an absolute lie.
Well, nobody said that.
But they say it's the same quality. They say things like the same quality, the same experience, the same this. They try to show a list of materials. We use the same steel, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, it's not the same. If you're spending $200 on a watch, guess what? You're getting a $200 watch.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. But so what are people going to say when I say going to Blog to the Watch is not the same as going out to buy International Watch Magazine or whatever the magazine is?
So wait, what are you trying to say?
I'm saying why would I go online to get my watch media when I can go to a magazine shop and get one of the best Watch Time magazines?
Because there's not that many magazine shops anymore, and it's really hard to find.
That's a whole different story.
Is it?
Why don't I trust the Watch Time guys versus a Blog to Watch, which is this upstart?
It's not about trust. You take both of them, you take a look at it, and you decide which one that fits your consumption habits better. That's all.
All right.
I want the consumer to decide. Look, again, this is a good debate. I'm not saying that like I'm unequivocally right and you're unequivocally wrong. I'm just saying that it's an interesting question, and it sucks that consumers have to be in this position where they have no idea what to do and they're being misled a lot. And again, this goes for all kinds of topics, not just watches, but for us, having the position that we have where we know a thing or two about watches and we see a lot of this stuff. This is actually MTM. This is an LA brand. This is kind of cool. But you see a lot of this stuff here. Some of it's interesting. A lot of it's crap. We know how to evaluate this stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel a lot of other people don't. But I mean, look, I think that it's because this stuff is easy to make right now. There's tons of factories and suppliers in Asia that are more than happy to make any number of these things. Most of these are produced by a supplier. A very small number of these Kickstarter projects are actually probably made in-house in any way, shape, or form. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
And so I think that there's a very low barrier to entry. And I would argue it's probably easier to get one of these projects up than it is to get up an amateur watch blog.
Yeah, that's easier, but it's also but if you win, if you hit the jackpot, then it's actually a lot harder to do this manufacturing.
Not with all these suppliers hanging out.
I guess you're right. All right, fine.
All right, let's talk about Devin.
Watch and wood.
You wanted to talk about Devin, the Star Wars one. So you and I both saw Star Wars Rogue One. I was entertained.
It was a war movie, and it wasn't good for kids by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay, you would know that better than me.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think it had some interesting. I think that, didn't you find where they had like, what was it, General Tarkin or whatever? Like he was all CG, and they had the CG.
Yeah, that was pretty
Princess
rough.
Leia. Yeah, like this is supposed to be like top quality graphics here, and it was like, duh, this is like just animation.
Yeah, it looked like a PS4 game.
I have to say the aesthetic graphics were not as good as I would have expected. I know that they want to do as much CG as possible. Doing anything else is super expensive, but I think that there's an expectation with something like Star Wars to just make it look as good as possible, and it looked pretty good. The costumes are okay, but like, I just haven't seen a big step forward in graphics over the last couple of years. Are you on the same page with me, or do I not know what I'm talking about?
Remember the uncanny valley. What you're looking at when you're looking at Tarkin is you're trying to look at a human being, but he doesn't look like a human being because there's a lot of facial muscles, a lot of the weird stuff that our faces do doesn't happen.
Yeah, so, it's very hard to do.
Yeah, so it's really hard to do.
Hard.
If you watch like the little alien dude who runs around with a gun, who looks like a little squiggy guy, then yeah, you can see that. Or you see the X-Wings flying really fast. Your brain basically says, oh, that's just an X-Wing fighter. I understand that. So I'm not going to worry that it doesn't look completely real. But when you look at Tarkin, you're looking to yourself, oh, that guy's dead, first off. And second off, he doesn't look alive. Because what are humans programmed to do? Humans are programmed to tell when other human beings are alive, basically.
What does this have to do with Devin's Star Wars watch is what I want to know.
I don't know. We're talking about Star Wars. So why is this a Star Wars watch? Is this like supposed to be a TIE fighter? What's the shtick here?
So this came out last year in 2015, and prior to Rogue One coming out, I said, like, let me just check it out hands-on. So you remember the Devon Tread one, right?
Yeah.
This watch was a limited edition of 500 pieces that cost $10,000 more. And that's really what bugs me about this. I like Devon. I like the Tread one. I like Darth Vader, I guess.
Is there a poster of 50 Shades of Grey?
No.
Are they allowed to make, Devon? Are they allowed to make Star Wars watches?
This was an official collaboration.
Official collaboration. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why this watch cost $28,500, and my concern there was really just that, like, does it need to? Like, is the premium of doing a watch with Lucas, or I guess Disney, is that $10,000? Did it really require Devin to increase their price by $10,000 to create a slightly different branded version of this? I mean, yes, there's different body cladding. This stuff is different, but is it really $10,000 worth of difference? And that really sounds kind of tough, right? Like, you want to make cool stuff with Star Wars, and you want to have stuff that fits in their universe, and it's cool, and it's limited, it's luxury. But, like, are they saying, like, you need to give us, like, $7,000 per watch every time you sell it?
Probably.
I don't know. So where can you wear this watch? Let's say you are a very rich, very Force-loving collector. Actually, you'd have to like the dark side a lot for this, because this is just all Empire.
I see. So on the side, it looks like a whatchamacallit. It looks like a TIE fighter.
This is like the TIE fighter wings. This is supposed to be from Vader's helmet. That's the Imperial, logo there, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I want to say, where do you wear this watch? Where do you say, I'm going to wear my it's relatively large, Star Wars themed luxury electronic timepiece? Where does one wear this? And I don't want to hear like, like a trade show. Yes, if you go into like some type of Star Wars trade show.
You wear it to the comic book store to impress the dudes at the comic book store.
Great.
Then you wear it to Jimmy John's to pick up your sub.
Okay.
And then you go home to your really big house, and you wear it while eating your sub. Then you wear it while browsing the internet for a few hours after work, because you're a programming professional, and you've been doing this for a number of years. So you're a
programming professional. Is that why you're going to the comic book store in the middle of the day weekly?
No, it's after work. It's after work.
Oh.
You also wear this to work, but you don't talk to anybody at work, unfortunately.
But you can't wear this while typing. It's. I mean, I guess you could.
Big.
It's really big. Yeah, you can't. I mean,
So
you're gonna have to get the stands, and the thing is, it's also really loud. If you don't turn the seconds off. Have you worn one of these for a while?
Yeah, I have. Well, no, I had one for a little while.
You don't remember the sound it makes?
Yeah, like.
Well, it's cool when you turn it on and off. That's my favorite.
So
I like this thing. I prefer the original one, because at least there's some story you can tell other than, oh yeah, I'm totally wearing a very expensive Star Wars themed timepiece.
So I don't know where you wear it then. Do you wear it to the comic book shop? Do you wear it to the club and show the ladies that you love Darth Vader?
I think the answer is you don't know and I don't know, which probably means that there's a problem here, because again, all these watches need to have what I call wearing scenarios. If you don't have enough good wearing scenarios, people are going to pick it up in a store or look at it online and say to themselves, you know what, this is great, but then they ask themselves, and I'm sure you've asked yourself this exact same thing, this is cool, when would I use it?
What's the scenario, yo? Okay, let's pick one more watch, because we got to close up soon.
Close the doors. Closing up shop.
What's this Seiko Prestige?
You mean the Prestige?
Prestige.
It's like a massage, but a little bit more prestigious.
It's interesting. So Seiko's doing the fancy automatic still.
Yeah.
But this isn't their super line, whatever it was. What was their super duper line?
You really don't remember the name of the high-end Seiko watches?
What was it?
You really don't remember?
I don't.
Grand Seiko. Wow, you know what? You got into Rolex, you got into JLC, you got into you even got into Seiko, but how is it that you haven't got into high-end Seiko yet?
I don't know. I definitely don't feel this watch. This watch looks like something you'd strip off a dead man in World War II.
It's a several $100 watch. It's a cheap watch. It's their it's like their poor man's limited edition. It's a poor man's Grand Seiko. It's like it's $1,100.
$1,100. Oh, you can bolt.
Street price will be less. Huh? Okay, the street price is definitely gonna be less than something like this. But the Prestige is a larger collection.
Interesting.
I love that they have their own sub-website now. Really? Is that necessary?
Seiko Prestige. Of course, because
really?
nobody knows where to go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all those pieces. Look at those pieces of watches.
Aren't those gorgeous?
They just
this is the same watch. This is the same movement. This is a little bit nicer. But again, so the Prestige collection
who
is
are they
like,
going after?
This is I don't know. This is like the best that Seiko can offer for about $1,000, and I believe that not all, but the majority of the Prestige watches are mechanical. So I think this is like supposed to be their like kind of dressy. I mean, it's definitely dressy. Okay, here's a great watch. I remember seeing these in Japan. 40.5 millimeters wide, mechanical movement, several $100s, maybe up to $1,000, I love how you can't even see a bigger picture of it. But this is like, you just want a decent, kind of conservative.
That's like the Leloc. That's the Tissot Leloc. That's the one that you buy when you first start out if you want a dressy watch. I like it. I'm all for it.
It's not bad. It's very legible. It's a nice one. I
what
remember
are these
seeing
chronos doing? Are these chronos mechanical?
This chronograph here?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a little bit more high end because this chronograph, this is the 8R 48.
Urushi Lacordale.
Urushi. This is the limited edition. These are actually, I'll tell you right now, because we talked about these.
What did you just type? Perdisterd?
I bought this new keyboard and my fingers never land in the right way.
Presage.
So these are. So this has their fancier movement in there. So this is a nice mechanical chronograph. This is at least $2,000. Yeah, 2,500 euros.
25. So it's all right for a chrono, and that's a really pretty face.
Yeah, that's it's a. But you really got to go full Urushi.
I like.
You gotta go a little full Urushi.
All right.
Are we still here?
So I'm excited about watches to a degree.
Again, are you getting? John's getting back into watches. Everyone.
I'm not getting back into watches. I'm not.
I'm never getting back into watches.
I learned my lesson. I think I've been wearing Omegas now. I've been wearing the Apple Watch occasionally for sports, for my sport. I've been working with Crown and Caliber. I'm like one of their bloggers of note. So they loan me watches every once in a while. So I get to wear a new Panerai every couple months.
Well, look at you. You're all grown up now.
Well, Crown and Caliber are good people.
They are good
Crown
people.
And Caliber.
We work with them as well.
Crown and Caliber, where all your watches' dreams come true.
Where dead watches go to be revived.
Dead watches, where boring watches go on someone else's wrist.
No, I mean, look, people can consign stuff there. People can sell unwanted watches and get used watches. Look, I think, and let's see if I'm right. I think that outfits like Crown and Caliber and the few of their colleagues will transition into being the backbones of official e-commerce online. So right now they're kind of playing on the edges, right? They're selling pre-owned, they're doing this or that. Sooner than later, they will be the new authorized dealers.
All right,
mark my words. Did we miss something? Aren't we going to talk about Casio or something?
We already talked about that. We already talked about it. This has been the HourTime podcast. This is the first one since July when you and I.
What did I do with you?
I'm happy.
Since July.
Since July.
Okay, we do need to be doing this more often because I have a good time at this, and you know what? I think that we like to yell at one another. I think that's really an important part of it. Do you like to yell with me, John?
I yell at you, and then you take it.
You yell at me, and then I take it. I'm not being responsive at all.
You're being responsive, like a careful lover. This has been the HourTime podcast. I'm John Biggs,
and I'm Ariel Adams, and we'll see you next time.